So I was at the garden center yesterday and picked up these beautiful herbs. Always in the springtime, I get really excited to put these herbs here in our courtyard in pots, and they get huge. And I use them all summer and fall until they pretty much die over the winter, and then it's time to do this again. So the first thing I do is I water the pot, water the amendment actually. I already soaked it a little bit earlier so that we don't waste too much time doing that now. But the bottom line is the roots need to go into amendment that's already good and wet down underneath. This just couldn't be easier. And like all winter, when I needed basil, I had to go to the store and buy a little thing of basil. This way, I'll have basil all summer, fall, and even early winter. And you just pop it in. It just couldn't be any easier. I think the best part about having herbs in a pot, especially away from wildlife, is that like the bunnies in the backyard would be eating this basil if it was in the ground. This courtyard, by the way, my husband Tommy, his house burned about 10 years ago in a wildfire. And then when he rebuilt a house, this house, he put the courtyard in the center. It was the first thing that he did. And I never really thinking that it would be a place for his wife, his future wife, to have a place to put like a kitchen garden, but it's right off the kitchen, and I absolutely love it. So I have 2 more to go, and then we'll start with the thyme and the tarragon. That was so much fun and easy. Everything's growing in spring. The trees are blooming, and I'm craving salad. I'm starting to think more about fruit. The basil that I just planted is going to be 3 times in volume in the next month, which means basil. It means all kinds of wonderful summer food. Today, I'm going to make a kale salad. My daughters, their friends, everybody seems to love this kale salad, and I think it's the way that I chiffonade the kale that makes it very tender. And I make a homemade dressing, lemon, garlic, pecorino. It's absolutely scrumptious. So let's go get the kale. I was cleaning up, I couldn't help but think about the whys, the why we eat versus what we eat. What we eat is we attempt to eat nutritious, wonderful, from the earth, organic, fresh food that's good for us. And yet there are other reasons why we eat other than nutrition. Sometimes we eat because we're emotionally disordered, unhappy, worried, fearful, frustrated, disappointed. Sometimes I know I eat when I feel the weight of the world on my shoulders. And that's when I'm not going to eat healthy. That's when I'm looking for something to soothe my emotion. It typically has sugar and all the things that I know better. And I'm getting better. There are things that I've done that really help with that. I was thinking about how we worry about the earth. We worry about the health of everything, the way things grow. But we too are organic beings. We are like a tree. Basically, if you think about it, it's not really obtuse to think that we are also of earth and sky and water. And one of the things that I've learned to do is just to kind of think like a tree, that all I am is just one tree, and to calm myself and to think about where my roots are and to get rooted and calm, and not allowing food to be the source of calm. Because it's actually like, I think food sometimes is numbing, and what we really need is to just quiet and calm. And sometimes that's just letting emotions kind of run through our system. And if we allow them in and just kind of look at them, they can just kind of float away as well. There's always a solution. The other thing too is the times that I have turned to food for comfort, which actually, we have a relationship with food, just the way we have a relationship with other people and ourselves. We have for better or worse, we have a relationship with food. And sometimes it's friend and sometimes it's foe, or we think it's friend and it becomes foe. And it's not always our best friend. So I've learned that when I want to go for the things that are sugary and sweet and starchy and fatty that are not good for me, I've learned that in that moment, I've lost my faith. I've lost my hope. In that moment, I don't believe that there's any other solution other than just trying to comfort myself. But if I can remember that the emotion will pass, it'll move through me, it's just a feeling, and kind of embrace the feeling and just get back to quiet, the way a tree would be blowing in the breeze, and just sitting with the emotion, that there is always a solution. There's always some courage to be had, some faith to exercise, some vulnerability maybe that's required, or when I say courage, maybe the courage to say the thing that we need to say, even though that we're afraid. But it's always a sign that it's time to challenge ourselves in a new way, and that's a good thing. So it's kind of like breadcrumbs leading us back home, back to our heart when we're craving food that we know we don't really want to put into our body. So anyway, just want to get back to this beautiful salad, and I just wanted to share that today. putting in even more garlic. It's about 4 big garlic cloves. The thing about this salad is it can sit overnight and it doesn't wilt the way spinach would because the kale just is very firm. But the thing is, it's about as zesty as a Dorito. That's the way I think of it. I'm not going to put all of it in at first. And the secret to good salad is lots of tossing. My tosser squeaks. Shut. And then goes the pecorino. This is also a staple that I keep in the fridge all the time. This and Parmigiano Reggiano. Pecorino, for some reason, it can stay shredded in the refrigerator for like a year and it doesn't mold. Okay, give this a little taste. Oh, good heavens, so good. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna eat this whole thing. Okay, kale salad's gonna marinate for a few minutes. I realized that I was out of my dressing. It's something that I normally keep in the refrigerator all the time. It's my go-to dressing. It's so delicious. Follow along with me. This is really easy to make. I use a milk bottle. I'll link where I get these down below. The reason being is they fit into the microwave because when you make a homemade dressing, the olive oil, it hardens. And so either you leave it out an hour before you use it or you can microwave it. You can nuke it for maybe less than 30 seconds, 20 seconds, and then shake it. And then back into the fridge it goes and it lasts up to 2, sometimes 3 months. So this is so easy. So I use a pourable measuring cup, which makes everything so easy. 1 cup of olive oil. So it's always 2 parts oil to 1 part citrus or acid. So 1/2 cup of apple cider vinegar, and then 2 teaspoons of salt. And remember, you're competing with like a store-bought dressing that has all these preservatives and chemicals and all kinds of stuff in it. So this is just so natural. I put in 2 tablespoons of sugar. You don't have to put in any sugar. This dressing makes a lot of salad. And then just 1/2 teaspoon of Dijon. It emulsifies it. And nice big thick clove of garlic. Whisk it up. And into the bottle, it pours. It smells so good. I don't know why I was always afraid of making salad dressing, thinking it was some tedious thing. It's just about as easy as it gets. Lid on, and that's good dressing for the next couple of months. Beautiful. How easy was that? That was just under 2 minutes for this big, beautiful bottle of dressing. I'm going to put all my notes down below for this and for the kale salad, and I would love to hear from you should you decide to make it. I hope that you love it as much as we do.